So I'm at Radius Group today. I don't want to call this an audit because it's not. I just saw this crane and thought it'd make a really interesting video. So set myself up and here we go. So I've come past this company a few times. It's just off the main drag into an area called King's Heath in Northampton. And I drive up this way quite regularly. And they used to have mobile cranes come in, I'm assuming, to load vehicles and that sort of stuff. But now they've actually built their own tower crane in the yard. And it's standing about 40 metres high from ground to the top of the boom. But it seems like a really good idea because that's what they do. Radius Group are a lifting company, so they supply and erect tower cranes. They also do, as I looked on their website, helicopter lifts as well, which is absolutely fantastic. There is a few videos on their website of them using the helicopter to lift equipment up onto the top of tower blocks where they can't physically get a crane in. So I just thought I'd come along and take a few videos. So here we are. I've got this lorry here now, just coming out of the gate, and he's actually only manoeuvring, so he's not coming out correctly all the way. He's just coming out to adjust himself and reverse back in. Now he has got a banksman, because it says on the sign that reversing isn't allowed without a banksman, and there is a guy behind him directing him. As you can see on the side of the truck, tower crane, hire and support services, contract lifting, logistics and warehouse, lifting assurance consultancy, and helicopter lifting, plant installation and handling. So yeah, massive company, and I love the registration number, RAD11S. So nice coloured vehicles. So there's also another company on here as well, ACS, Airport Capacity Services. I'm not quite sure what they do. I think they're part of this group, but I'm not 100% sure, so I wouldn't want to say they are when they're not. But we've got a crane here. It's just loading up a vehicle. Now I shot the video in sections and it's not in perfect sequence, but it didn't edit together very well, so it's more just as and when I feel like putting the bits in. But you can see the guy there in the crane. He's doing all the controls. Now the crane on the back there, it's got 5 big concrete blocks. I think they weigh about a ton apiece, probably a little bit more, but we'll say a ton apiece. And down on the bottom they've got massive concrete slabs that hold the crane into position. You can see the crane turning now. And if you look around, you can see all the different sections of the tower cranes. If you're interested to know exactly how high they could build that if they used all them sections together. I think each section is about 10 metres, I should think. Possibly 5, no, more than 5 metres, probably 10 metres high each section. But them concrete slabs you can see there just down in the left hand corner, they're the ones that are around the bottom of the crane, as you can see there on the footings of the crane. Just a quick scout around the yard. We've got a man lift cage there, which are pretty much illegal to use now. They're only allowed to be used for unplanned emergencies. And a little bit of storage and debris and rubbish down there. Porta cabin, don't know what that's for, obviously I didn't go into the site. But they have got 2 huge stainless steel silos, 1 and 2, and some steps for the side of the cranes, another footplate, and air conditioning units, a couple of vans. They've got some really smart looking vehicles, and that must be the yard where they do a lot of the repairs and storage and stuff like that. And there's one of the rotator blocks there, right in the middle of the screen now, and I think that's what the actual crane spins around. They've got entry gates, they've got the winches that fit on the cranes, and as you can see there, they're using a big low loader to transport them concrete blocks, so they must be more than a ton each. They're only putting 4 on each vehicle, but them trucks can carry an awful lot more than that. so they must be more than a ton apiece. But then I suppose they've got to counterbalance the entire weight of the crane and anything that is lifting. So HalletsSilberman.com, heavy haulage hauliers. There's actually 2 vehicles, there's another one waiting outside to get in to be loaded up after this one's finished. But as you can see, they're only fitting 4 concrete slabs onto this vehicle. It is a low loader, it's designed really for transporting equipment, machinery and that type of things, diggers, dumpers, anything like that I'm assuming. But if you see the shadow there, concrete block coming in now, and there it is, just there. So the concrete blocks, they've got cutaways on each corner, on each end, sorry, 2 cutaways on each end. I think there's a steel bar or a steel brace that runs through, and the chains just hook onto those. You wouldn't want to be standing underneath that if that fell. They're all wearing hard hats, but I don't think a hard hat is going to make much difference if one of them falls on you. Yeah, so there you go, he's going to bring it down. Right down. You can see the guy up on the truck with a black top on, talking on his walkie-talkie. He's directing the crane operator. 2 guys on the bottom, I think they're the drivers. One from this vehicle and one from the vehicle that parked outside. And drivers wouldn't be allowed to get involved in the loading and unloading, but it's their job to secure the loads once they're on. You saw the guy just dragging the chains up a few seconds ago. And that's what they'll chain them on, but they wouldn't use straps because straps could chafe and split, and if they're driving down the motorway and one of them things falls off, it's going to do an awful lot of damage. I ride a motorbike and it's bad enough when you hit a small stone, certainly wouldn't want to hit one of those things. So there you go, the chains are going on, one on each side, and then they use a big steel ratchet. A lot of love between the drivers there, look. So yeah, carrying on around, look, you can see there are quite a few cabs down there on the floor. And that's the actual crane itself, radius group on the side. When the driver goes up the steps, he goes along to the back here and turns on the equipment. And there's them concrete blocks that I was saying about, another radius sign on the back. And it's actually got Potane written on the side of the crane itself. Massive things. I'm not sure what the overall lifting capacity would be, I suppose. Depends on the length and size of the boom. But they've got 3 different colours, 4 different colours, 5. Yellow, blue, white, red and green. And here we are, we've moved up now to the office area. Just going to have a quick look around here. There's that ACS company sign again. And they have got electric charging points. There's 2 here. One just to the left behind the tree, which we couldn't quite see. And then there's 2 over just the other side. I'll show you them in a second. Just there, where them 2 cars are parked. There's another 2 charging points over there. Now I'm thinking this is a reception for ACS, because the reception for Radius is a little bit further down. So whether they actually rent a little bit of land from them, I'm not sure. Or whether they're the same group. I'm not quite 100% sure on that. But this here is the reception for the Radius group. Now the shutter is up because the snap van's just come out and they haven't shut it down. Now they've been really good on security here. The gate's been shut all the time, and at night time it's got a red LED light goes across it so you can't miss it. And obviously steel gates, barbed wire on the top, and the sign says there, visitor and staff parking in there, deliveries over where we was looking at the crane earlier. And this is Mainland House, which is their head office. Do like their sign. CCTV signs everywhere to warn that you're being watched, and that's the bottom end of those silos that you can see. Now I've come up to the top of the yard now, and there's some guys fitting together these air conditioning vents. I'm assuming they are. They're huge, 2 meters high, 2 meters wide, and the guy's just been bolting them all together. I was standing there for a minute filming it, and then realised I hadn't turned the camera on. So I was just watching it on the screen and not filming. But yeah, you can see there's quite a few of them there. I think what they do is make them up here, and then they're shipped out to site when they're all put together. Cages on the inside, I'm assuming that's to stop debris and birds and stuff from going inside. You can see there's a lot of them there, a lot of them still wrapped, waiting to be unpacked, fitted together. And they're a fair old size, so 2 metres square. As you can see, that guy standing there is a little bit taller than him. See if we can move the camera around a little bit. There we go. I like the guy's top knot. Yeah, they're just bolted together. In a few minutes you will see the forklift picking it up and moving it around. So back down to the gate again, just having a quick look around really. Like I said, it's not an audit, it's just, I was interested in what they do. All the warnings up there, high visibility clothing, no smoking, banksman, all the regular stuff really. Lifting operations, on-site CCTV, everything you'd see on a standard industrial site like this. So yeah, there's a sign. I like that, it's cool. And there's all the sections of the tower cranes all stacked up, and there's them big concrete blocks that I was saying that they use to actually hold the cranes down into position. They've got to be a couple of tonne each, and on the tower crane that you can see here, I think there's about 8 or 10 on each side, so a lot of weight holding that down. Now there is a lot of cables and stuff there, green lights, I'm assuming for that it's for warnings. But if you look up here, you'll see there's a wind speed indicator, 2 of them. Now they've got to have them because I'm assuming they've got limits on wind speed. I know from using cherry pickers and stuff like that, you're limited by the speed. Massive snatch blocks, steel cables, it's not really a cable, it's more of a bar, and coming down to the chain, it's a double snatch box system, and then 4 chains coming down to hooks on the end. Now I presume they can change the chains for whatever they need, depending on what they're carrying and what they're lifting. So yeah, nice sunshine. And here we've got a guy coming out on the forklift. This is a Heister 7 tonne, extended forks. So they're 2 metre forks, it's a 7 tonne lift truck. Struggling a little bit to get over them speed bumps, they're not really designed for speed bumps. I did notice that he hasn't got a number plate on the back of this, which is quite surprising actually. I know they've got a yellow beacon light, but he's travelling on a public highway. It's not a public road, there's numerous businesses up here. You've got Bedford Battery, you've got Screwfix, another couple of companies up the end of the road there. But as you can see, the gate shuts straight away as soon as he's out. No messing around. And we're back to this lorry reversing in. This is where it clipped from earlier on. So there is a banksman on his left hand side, So here we have, I've just had the guy come out to say that he was quite happy for me to film. He enjoys having people filming around the company. He's had a couple of guys come down from London this morning that have booked an appointment to come in and have a look around the factory, see how it all works. And he did ask that I'll give him a copy of the video before I post it. I don't really want to do that, but he was nice and polite. That guy there that you could just see walking off come over to give me the other gentleman's email address. But the guy was absolutely fantastic. Come out really pleased that people were taking interest in the company. Had a look at the drone, had a look to see where it was, and obviously just warned me that you know, big heavy equipment, so if I was within the radius of the machinery when it's spinning around, it could cause an awful lot of damage. Not to their equipment, to my drone. So he just said to me, like, to be a little bit careful, try and stay out of the way of the boom, which I'm more than happy to do. The last thing I want to do is lose a £1,000 bit of equipment through my negligence. But yeah, absolutely fantastic staff, really friendly, nobody got aggressive, nobody come out whinging and moaning, so yeah, really good, absolutely recommend them. 5-mile speed limit on site, as you can see there, and then we have the crane itself. So this is the second vehicle in now. Manoeuvring himself around a little bit. He's climbing out. 3 points of contact for the driver. Fantastic. That's the way they should be taught. Getting out his hat, gloves. Look like health and safety. If you've watched my other video, you'll see that I used to be a health and safety auditor. So I did go to companies and assess their health and safety policies, see how everything worked, make sure everything was being done to standard. Obviously I wasn't a health and safety inspector, I just ensured that their health and safety regulations were up to date. So going back to the crane again now, it is on the move. As you can see, it spins quite quickly actually, to be fair. There's hardly any wind today, the wind speed is only 14 miles an hour, so it's not a great deal. And this crane is 2 sections, so it's not particularly high. It looks really good against that sky. A few clouds. Excellent. Rather cinematic, I must say. And now we're just getting a wide shot around the site, just so you can see. It's not a massive site by any means. It's well situated, and if you look there at the base of the crane, you can see all those concrete slabs that actually hold it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah, 8 or 10 on each side. Loads of spare cabs, loads of winch cables, a couple of their vehicles parked around, and that corner there with the porter cabin, as you can see there is, I think that's just where they dump a lot of the rubbish and stuff. But the site itself is really tidy. Obviously it's packed, but like I said, it's not a massive site, so they've got to be careful where they put everything. But it just fascinated me watching the crane. It was really the only reason I got the drone out, just so I could have a look and see how it all worked. You don't normally get this close to them. So it was good to see. Now at the end of the video I have took a couple of night shots. You'll see them in a few minutes, because the site lights up quite well at night time, which is great. So just landing the drone now. It's the end of the drone shots for now, and then we're on to the night shots. So I'll leave this with you. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.